Hello everyone, and welcome back. So today, I have news. So unfortunately my chameleon cage, which you guys haven't seen yet, leaked. Now, fortunately, I was able to fix the leak, and while I was fixing it, I was able to make this beautiful background for my chameleon. My chameleon is named Titus. He's currently over there at the moment, just because I had to fix his cage over the week. So I'm going to start off by saying I'll be setting up his cage bioactively, as it was before the leak happened. So what I ended up doing to modify ZoomEd's screen cage, this one is 2 by 2 by 4 feet, was I took plexiglass and I put it on the 3 sides on the lip down here at the bottom, and then I glued them all in to make it waterproof, because I had noticed in the past whenever my chameleon was younger that the cage, while it does get plenty of ventilation for the chameleon, it does not hold the water in it that the chameleon needs in order to get a high humidity. So, to start off with, I have a drainage layer down here at the bottom. I have an empty cage with just this background that I made with the spray foam and silicone method. And I have a standard T5 high output light for UVB and a basking light. Right here I have my bioactive soil mix, and this is what I'll be putting in. It appears that I've got about 10 gallons worth, as I have this in a 10-gallon tank. This is the same soil that I used before. The same soil that I used before the leak ended up happening, and so it'll work absolutely splendidly. This soil, like I said, being used before, it was in a bioactive cage, and so because of that, the soil, since it's the same, it's still seeded with plenty of isopods, those being dwarf purple and dwarf white. I have a mix of springtails. I have temperate and tropical gray, temperate and tropical white. I have some like pink variety and some green variety. I've been culturing all of my own cleanup crew insects, or I guess neither of those are insects, because the isopods are crustaceans, and then the springtails have too many legs to be an insect. But yeah, I've been culturing them all by myself, and also, to add to the cleanup crew, I also have earthworms living in here, and I believe that's it. Now, in order to make this soil blend, it was a ABG mix, and so it had in, it was primarily coconut fiber, yet it had in fir bark, I believe, or no, cypress wood is what it was. It has sphagnum moss, a lot of charcoal, and then it had a lot of mosses, or no, I already said mosses. But yeah, that's basically what was in here, as well as a little bit of sand just to aid in drainage. But that's not necessary for all animals. And so, what I'm kind of trying to do here with the soil is slope it up at the back, just because my background didn't go down all the way to the ground. And I guess it also kind of helps add depth to the cage. So that's what I'm doing right now. Just gotta get the rest of this soil. And then after this, I'm going to be doing the Hardscape, adding plenty of basking branches, climbing branches, and areas where my chameleon can kind of get out of the sun into the shade. Because all of those areas are very crucial for the veiled chameleon in order to survive. Alright, that's about it for the soil. Let's see how it is. I did spill a little bit, but I can just sweep that up afterwards. Yeah, pretty low in the front, and then it gets pretty high in the back. another thing I'm going to do is kind of plant a lot of my plants towards the back, so that'll be helpful. I think I might add in a little bit more soil, just to kind of top it off. So in here, this is my primarily coconut fiber. I also had in a couple rocks. I can't remember why. So I'm just kind of going to sprinkle a little bit on here, just to make it look nice. And then also back here, I made this log a pot for a pothos plant. So I'm going to kind of try and load it with dirt. Alright, I think that's about good for our dirt. Or you know what, I'll just finish off this. There we go. Okay, so that's it for our dirt. Next, we're going to be doing the hardscape, as I said. That will be all of our branches. Alright, let me grab those. I have them all sitting over here, behind the camera. Alright, so first off, we have this giant root mass from a grapevine. All the wood I'll be using is from grapevines. This one looked really nice back here in the past, so I think I'm going to kind of recreate what I once had before the leak happened. Yeah, I'm really liking that there. And it does have this branch which can allow Titus, my chameleon, to climb up there and bask under the UVB light, bask in the heat light. And then next I have these two branches of grape wood. This one was my primary basking branch in the past. Just kind of coming in under here. Yeah, just like that. I also had a couple more branches. One of them I mounted a pothos plant on. However, unfortunately, because it's not been in the cage for about a week, it's kind of looking sad. So let's get this one in there, and hopefully after it has enough water, it'll start to come back. And then I believe I had this kind of going around over here. If not, we're just going to try and put it in and just see how it looks. Once again, you want this to look really nice while still being functional, because you don't want to have, well, I guess you do want to have a really nice looking cage, but if it's not going to benefit the animal, then it's useless. It defeats the whole purpose of having it. This is definitely not how I had this in the past, but I'm kind of liking it. I'm going to try and bend this without snapping it, which is going to be pretty hard. There we go. We got that done. We didn't even break it. Alright, now I'm going to take a step back. It's alright. I think I'm going to move a couple branches around. This one for sure. I'm not so sure about how I like this. And then my branch with my pothos plant mounted on it. Alright, so this branch is not going to go there. Move that. And then my branch of my pothos plant. I think I'm going to kind of... Ooh, yeah. I like it sticking up a lot like that. Yes. Alright, then that one, I like having it there because this one can provide my chameleon with an area to bask. And then over here I've got plenty of spots where my chameleon can get under the UVB and still get heat, but not as intense. Which it's important to make sure there's a gradient throughout the cage. That's why my light is, my basking light that is not in the middle of the cage. It's kind of off-centered, off to the side. All the way over here is where my hottest spot will be in the cage, which would make my coldest spot be down here in the corner. Alright, so this branch of this pothos plant, this is really looking sad. It's going to need more water. Definitely. Kind of bury it down here at the bottom and make it look almost like it's growing up out of the ground. Except it's not going to go down into the ground. It's not letting me. Alright, now I'm going to take another step back. Kind of like that a little more. Yeah, I'm liking that. Alright, and so then we're going to put in this branch. Once again, all of this is locally collected wild grape wood. I do have another branch, but my chameleon is currently sitting on it off screen. So I'll put that in last with my lizard. Alright, so now for my favorite part, which is planting. So we're going to start off with planting these dragon trees, I believe is what they're called. I've had these for a year now. I've been growing them back here in the back of this cage. A nice shady area for my lizard. That way he can just kind of get out of the light, get out of the sun. Not really the sun, but my basking light, my UVB light. Can just get out of the way and hide out here. Because chameleons, it's really important that they have plenty of spaces to hide in the plants. A lot of people kind of overlook that, and it's really sad. And then this last little one, little plant over here. I'm really liking how dense, how lush this little area is back here in this corner. I really like that. And I'm sure Titus, my chameleon, will enjoy it too. Alright, so next we're going to be planting my pothos plant, or not my pothos, my umbrella tree. I have multiple stalks here. I had these currently, or not currently, but in the past, growing over here. And this side, I think I'm going to continue to do that, as it looked really nice. And hopefully as these plants grow, mature, and get really tall, hopefully they'll be able to kind of fill up this whole side of the cage. I'm really hoping that one day that'll happen. I've had these in here for a year also. I kind of got all my plants at about the same time, so that way I could set up my chameleon's cage. But I never made a video about it. I don't think I've really focused on my chameleon a lot on YouTube. Alright, so once again, I'm trying to make this full of plants. Make sure there's plenty of areas for my chameleon to hide back in here. interact with. I've got these last two stalks. I'm going to be planting these back here. Excellent. Alright, and then with water, because yeah, like I said before, these plants have kind of been growing in not optimal conditions past couple days. So with water, these guys will stand up nice and straight and tall and get nice and high. So yeah, I'm really liking this how this is turning out. It's looking a lot more like a rainforest than it did before. Up here, I have these pothos plants, these cuttings I got from my plant, which I've got over there in my greenhouse. Like I said before, I'm going to try and plant them over here, and hopefully they can cascade down in the future after they've grown in, and really fill up this corner and make it feel like a rainforest, really lush with plants. So I'm really building this with the intentions of seeing it grow in really nicely. You want to put plants where you know that they'll have plenty of space to grow. You want to think about the future of the plants and kind of plan ahead. Alright, so these guys, this one's kind of fallen out. I think I'm going to grab a clump of the heavy dirt I've got down here at the base to kind of anchor this plant and kind of weigh it down on top. There we go. And that's working. It's working very nicely. Alright, and now for our arboreal plants, or some more epiphytes to add. I have these old ficus branches. I think I'm going to put these in here, kind of add to the wood, just to kind of give my bromeliads I'm about to add some more space. I can mount them on. Yeah, this is looking good. I might kind of drop these ones down a little bit more. You know what? I don't think I really like those there anymore. I didn't have them there in the past. I was just going to kind of test it out, kind of experiment a little bit to see what I like. Alright, so now for the bromeliads. So right here, I have this one. It's starting to die a little bit on the sides, but that's normal. They should be occasionally dropping leaves. Alright, so this one has produced for me quite a few pups. And as you can see, it's got one right here. Generally speaking, I've kind of noticed that whenever they grow pups, they kind of start to wither back just a little bit, so that might kind of be why that one leaf was kind of coming off and a few of them are starting to die. So here we've got a little clump of 3 bromeliads. It was originally just these 2, and they made this little pup on the side. I think I'm going to put them right here. And one thing that I did in the past is, with these bromeliads, is I kind of took a clump of moss. I made like a ball out of moss, filled up the ball with dirt, and then planted the bromeliads in there, and then wrapped them up in biodegradable wire, I guess, like thread, and then I put them in, let them grow. The moss kind of started to die off, but it really helps to hold water in, and it just really helps with the roots being connected to each other to just kind of hold on and keep the plant together in one piece. Right here I have a young banana tree. This will be new to the enclosure. I'm going to plant it down here because, like I said, you want to think about where the plants are going to go in the future, and this guy's going to get kind of big. So it is a dwarf banana tree though, but it will still get pretty big. Probably outgrow the cage in the future. So I'm just going to kind of plant it there so that way it'll have plenty of room right here to fill in. But once again, I'm probably going to be removing that plant eventually. But only after it outgrows the cage, because it looks nice. So then, right here, I've just got a clump of moss. I'm going to put it around this bromeliad. This is a pup. This one made, like I said, I think I'm going to nestle it down in between these two branches. That looks really nice. Yeah, now I've got Spanish moss. Really nice little addition. And I'm going to be putting this, kind of drooping it down from right over here behind this basking branch. You don't really notice it a ton, but if you're really looking at the cage, kind of admiring it, you can kind of tell. And I really like to watch my lizards walk around, just kind of admire the plants that are growing in it. Now I've got these small pothos plants, just little cuttings down here. I'm going to be planting these down here at the bottom of the cage. Maybe in the future they'll trail up on the branches, who knows. I'm just going to kind of plant them down here as a floor covering plant. Hopefully they'll fill in the future. And you know what? I'm going to kind of plant a few of them down here at the bases of a few of these tree branches. So that, or I guess they're grape branches. But like I said, it's kind of trying to think about where they're going to go. Kind of angle them so that way the directions they're facing will make them go up the branches. And then this is not potting soil, this is just my mix that I have. So I'm just going to fill in some spots that look a little bit bare. And then after this, I'm going to add my biodegradables to the cage, so that way my cleanup crew will have something to munch on. Once again, the same thing with this. And then after that, I believe it'll be time to water it down and add the dragon himself. Yeah, I'm really liking how this cage is looking. Once again, my pothos plant that I have growing epiphytically over here, which I mounted on the branch, that one's looking pretty sad, but he'll grow in eventually. So now for my biodegradables, I have a ton of leaves that I mixed in with the soil previously. They kind of got mixed in where I was trying to frantically disassemble the cage the day that I found out that it had a leak. And so there's quite a bit of leaves mixed into the soil now. Quite a bit of them are mixed in with this moss. Now I'm starting to notice. And so I'm really just kind of putting this in here. It'll absorb water, help to hold a lot of the water up on the surface of the soil, so that way evaporation can happen a lot quicker. Because that's something else that's pretty important with chameleons, is there needs to be a constant high humidity. And so, like I said, the screen cages, they provide plenty of ventilation, which the chameleons, it's essential to the chameleons. A lot of people used to keep chameleons in glass enclosures, which would in some cases work, but for the most part they all end up getting respiratory infections, all dying. And so they started putting them in bird cages, which was basically how we got here with these screen cages. Basically aren't much different from a bird cage, other than they're all way bigger, of course, and more designed for arboreal lizards. And so, like I said, with the fact that they need a high ventilation and a high humidity, those kind of work against each other. And so it's really important that you kind of figure something out, like I did with putting in my plexiglass on the sides to hold water in. It really helps to hold in humidity, while there can still be kind of like a chimney effect, I guess, where the air can kind of come in through here and shoot up out the top, or the other way around. And so that way there's still plenty of ventilation. And so like stated, I'm just kind of filling in biodegradable matter for my microfauna. And then after this, my lizard can go in. Alright, I think we're about done. Alright guys, we're finished. Oh wait, airplane. Let's see where it should go. How about right here? How about it? Alright guys, so I've got my cage finished. I'm going to add my chameleon, and then I can bring you guys over here to come see. So, off screen, I have him in his enclosure for whenever he was younger. He's now 15 inches long, adult build chameleon. They don't really enjoy being handled a lot, and it can really stress them out, and so it's important that these animals, whenever you get them, you are aware of the fact that they're going to be a display animal for the most part, rather than an animal that you're going to be holding a lot. You've really got to get used to that if you are planning on getting a chameleon. And so, I'm not necessarily going to be handling him, unless if it's really something that he needs, because, well, you can see him eyeing me right now because he knows that I'm the guy who always gives him food. And I really tend to hand feed him a lot because I feel that that's a way that I'm still able to connect with him, while at the same time I'm not stressing him out too much. So this is my chameleon, and I'm probably going to move that branch around a little bit more. And so, sorry about that. So, here's my chameleon. He's starting to turn a lot darker for us. He's got pothos plant over there, some bromeliads right here with the tillandsia, some bromeliads here with this poor little pothos. Then we've really got the plants down here at the very bottom in the underbrush. We've got this sad looking umbrella tree that'll need to grow in, and this little dragon tree. And down here, if we drop down to the very bottom, we've got a few pothos plants here and there, and right here, this little banana tree that'll grow in. Got our soil and our chameleon. Alright guys, thank you for watching. I'm hopefully going to be doing an update video on him in the future, and on his cage. After this I'll water him down. I'll need to sweep up the floor, and until next time, God bless you guys.